And welcome to Hero Power. This is episode 102, and I am your host, Avantes, and joining me, as always, are my co-hosts, Zeroshio.
Have I ever said how much I love our theme music?
I don't think so, but it's good to hear.
Maybe just a little bit.
And Versika.
Have I ever told you guys how much I love watching Zeroshio's facial expressions during our intro?
They don't get to see that.
Completely and totally entertained. No. Like the facial expressions that we have of you on the intro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I make those same facial expressions while the intro's playing.
Right? Yeah, I know. So, all right. Well, we have a great show lined up for you today. We have a really fun deck to play this evening, courtesy of Zeroshio. And but before we get to all of that, we've got some news to talk about.
Yeah, and we've got to do that first one within the first 20 minutes.
That's right. Some people can only listen to the first 20 minutes of a podcast, so the most important thing has to be done first. Last week, we kind of touched on this coming weekend's Summer Championship and the Choose Your Champion. So, Versika has had the week to do his thing where he travels to the future and finds out who wins and then comes back. So, Versika, what are your picks?
So, when it was all said and done, and it was actually really tough to get good scouting video on the Chinese.
Oh yeah,
I was pretty surprised that it was hard to find matches for them to watch, and even then, I didn't understand what they were saying. I just watched the cards being played. In the end, I ended up going with Pavel and Ouya.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ouya is a very interesting pick there. Is there anything that stood out with Ouya that made you pick him?
Well, I like his, I like the way he plays the game. I got to watch a few of his videos. There's not a lot out there on him. I actually had to search really hard to find good quality, what I felt like were good quality videos. So I feel like coming into this tournament, I don't think Jade Druid is going to be banned quite as much as it was. So I think most people are either going to ban the Highlander Priest or they're going to ban Rogue. So I think because his Jade Druid is a little off meta, I think it'll get played. But we've actually seen a version of his Jade Druid on the show. If you remember, we were playing a Jade Druid against one of our decks, and I don't remember which one it was, but we kind of got into a situation, and I'm just like waiting for the Alexstrasza to drop, and we had to explain it the next week in an email, right?
Yep, you knew that the Alexstrasza was going to drop.
So he is actually playing the Alexstrasza version of Jade Druid. So, thought that was interesting. He is bringing a Zoo Warlock, but the interesting thing about his Zoo Warlock is the end, like the sort of like the end game of his Zoo Warlock. He runs Bone Mare in it, he runs Lich King in it, and he runs Blood Reaver Gul'dan in a Zoo Lock. I thought that was pretty interesting. He plays the pretty standard Prince's Rogue, running Zeril and the 2 Cobalt Scalebanes. And his has Cairn Bloodhoof in it. So, just looking at the overall deck list, I feel like his decks are meta enough to be competitive and have just enough off-meta stuff in them to make it a little more difficult for his opponents to navigate. His play style, like the way he anticipates plays, actually reminds me a lot of Pavel. So
Yeah.
when I was looking at him, I'm just like, do we have perhaps a second Pavel?
Maybe.
Coming from Japan? I think he's Japanese. Actually, I don't know. He's either Japanese or Chinese.
I don't think he's from the Chinese group. I think he came out of the APAC, and you might be correct about.
I think he's Japanese.
Yeah, I believe he is Japanese. I'm almost positive I saw him play. See, I haven't watched any of the China Gold series, so if I saw him play, it was in the APAC series.
Yeah.
So Japanese is likely.
So, someone else I feel like, if you want to take a chance on somebody, someone else I feel like could make a splash is Amix. Did I say that
yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I was watching some of Amix stuff, and we actually saw him play. I guess was it the playoffs?
Yes.
Where they were featuring a few of his matches, and I was really impressed with his overall play, but his Paladin deck that he's bringing Control Paladin to the lineup, and I thought that was a nice list in the Control Paladin. He's bringing just the standard Jade Druid, Highlander Priest. His Highlander Priest is pretty standard as well, and then his Warrior, he's bringing Quest Warrior, which I feel like right now is in this meta is the stronger of the Warrior decks.
So the deck that we're playing tonight is actually an Amix build of Control Paladin. I believe I made a couple minor changes, but the shell pretty much is the Amix style, and that's where I originally was trying to fit in my THL play some Control Paladin, but couldn't find a good list. So I went over to disguisetoast.com, and Amix list was right there from the EU playoffs, and I love it, and we'll be playing that tonight.
So,
yeah, I'm looking forward to checking out that deck here shortly. But the reigning TESPA champs, Rutgers.
I didn't get to say my pick.
Oh, did you not?
No.
You've been rambling. Go ahead.
Pavel. And let me go into the long drawn out reason why I picked Pavel. It's because his name is Pavel, and that's it. I didn't look at any decks. I actually picked mine before the decks were even released because I have blind faith in Pavel. All right, there you
Huh?
go.
What? Did you announce your pick yet?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It was sarcasm.
I also took Pavel, just for the record. So mainly because he's the reigning world champion. Anyway, speaking of reigning champions, the TESPA champs, Rutgers, got defeated last night by Temple. Did you check that? Did you get a chance to watch it? Because I didn't.
I did.
I caught the end of it. I didn't realize it was on.
Rutgers came out pretty strong, but they seemed rather confident, and I was really surprised by the turn of events. Temple's got a really good lineup, good team.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just have to see. Now Rutgers overall is still doing very well in the tournament, and will likely go on to the next phase. We might see this as a rematch. Do what?
I said, well, yeah, they've got Knob Lord.
Yeah, that's true.
So I got a funny story about him. Don't really want to share it on the air right now. I may tell our patrons about it later.
Well, I got a funny joke.
Oh, is it joke time?
It must be joke time.
Okay.
So, how many Hearthstone devs does it take to screw in a light bulb?
I don't know.
I'm afraid to ask.
Just one. If they could balance the ladder.
Oh.
All right, next.
Wow. That was
all right.
good.
Rip hero power.
Yeah.
And good night.
All right. So this week, Blizzard announced the new Warlock Hero. You know, we've hinted at the fact that there was a new hero coming later in the year, and they finally made the announcement. It is Nemsy Necrofizzle. She is a gnome warlock, female gnome warlock, so she will be the first gnome hero in.
And we've seen her before.
Yes. Why don't you tell them where?
So if you are big into card art, especially the golden card art, there is a gnome with shiny ruby colored. Are they ruby or emerald colored? I can't remember if they're red or green. I think they're green. Are they red, ruby? Anyways, they're either red or green. But she rides on top of all the bog cards. The was a bog creeper and
Fen creeper.
So all the bog creatures, that little gnome on top, it looks like she's marionetting them. That is Nemsy Necrofizzle. I love gnomes. I love female gnomes in World of Warcraft. I'm really excited, not only that it's a gnome, but secondly, they're actually pulling a hero for a hero portrait out of existing Hearthstone lore. She doesn't exist in World of Warcraft. She doesn't exist in any of even in the older Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3 games. This is a character specifically that has been designed through the card art in Hearthstone, and I'm hoping they do this again in the future. And it makes me look at cards now if I see the same characters more than once. Is that another hero? So it's kind of neat. I know a lot of people aren't really happy about how you get it, and they're also not happy about the hero.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. How do you get it?
You get it for attending a fireside brawl, or is it just a brawl, or just a fireside gathering?
It's for attending a fireside gathering and competing in a fireside brawl.
Gotcha. And that starts October 17th.
And it runs through November the 9th, I believe,
But they did make a clarification that she will still be available to obtain after the Oktoberfest type theme. That event. After that event, you'll still be able to get her by going to fireside gatherings. Yeah. And we did have kind of a last minute a notice in our Discord that I guess.
And I want to talk about this real quick because this was a post on Reddit that I've been reading through. And I want our listeners to be aware because with the announcement of the Warlock Hero, a lot of people are creating fireside gatherings. Mm-hmm. And especially over in Europe, we've been seeing a lot of them just labeled Warlock skin or get your Warlock skin here. Here's the catch. You can only do it through an established tavern that has access to the fireside brawl. So, how do you know the difference? If you go to firesidegatherings.com and search in your area, if you see a lantern, that is a fireside gathering. Mm-hmm. You cannot get the portrait from that event. Okay. However, if you see an event with a tavern sign beside it and the name of the tavern, that is an officially established tavern, and you will be able to obtain the portrait from that event.
So, just for clarification, if I was wanting to run a fireside gathering that is going to allow people to get this card back, I should probably go ahead and register to do one, say, this weekend.
Correct.
So that I am in their system.
Correct.
So that as of the 17th, when I'm since I've already had one event and I've registered my tavern, then my next event I should be able to get
correct.
Give out.
Once you have run an event, and it's been tied to your battle.net address, you can then go through the application process to establish a tavern. You go in, do all the setup, create your logo, create the name, your description. You then submit that to Blizzard. There is a waiting period of about 2 days to 1 week. It's probably going to be closer to a week right now with everybody that's creating events. They're really bogged down. Once that has been approved, you can then schedule another event. Once 3 people have checked into your tavern, it should then become active, and you can start doing tavern fireside brawls. So that's the steps that need to be taken. If you've never run a fireside gathering before, you need to do one, and then you need to do another one.
And it's good that we're getting this clarification now instead of it becoming noticed on the 17th. Obviously, those people would have time to then go to fireside gathering a second time because this isn't just going to go away. But at least we are aware of it now. So if you are an innkeeper looking to have a fireside gathering and run a tavern for the Nemsy Necrofizzle card back, go ahead and get your process started immediately so that when this event comes out, and you don't have to do the event on the 17th. You have all the way until the beginning of November.
Yeah, and then then, if you don't run it in that time frame, she's still going to be available anytime after that.
So, I mean, I know a lot of people are upset about this, but it hasn't even happened yet. Nobody's been out anything. As long as you have a responsible innkeeper or you choose to be a responsible innkeeper, then everything's going to be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So that brings us to our next topic. Mystery goodie for BlizzCon's Virtual Ticket. So they announced all of the in-game items that you will get with your BlizzCon Virtual Ticket except for Hearthstone. They said the innkeeper was not quite ready to show his hand, but they've hinted at the fact that it could be a golden legendary.
Well, it's been a little more than hinted because if you actually got your virtual ticket, you get a specific email that states that there will be a mystery golden legendary. Now, in the announcement itself, it doesn't quite say that, though it does show a picture of a generic generic golden card, and it's the name of it is golden legendary. So it will be a golden legendary. The question is, what will the golden legendary be?
Now, this isn't the first time they've done this. They gave away ETC as part of BlizzCon. That was the year I didn't buy the virtual ticket. And
I have that one.
And then you also got Gelbin if you made a purchase during beta. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So it's not unheard of.
My theory?
Yes.
I think it's the Headless Horseman.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Oh. So, yeah. Here's my concern. And this has kind of been speckled out on different sites and tweets and Reddit forums, is that it will be Elite Tauren Chieftain again. I really hope that's not the case.
So do you want to know why I think it's the Headless Horseman?
Why?
Because when you go look at the Halloween events, you've got the same picture of Nemsy that everybody's talking about where she's eating the mushroom/apple.
Uh-huh.
Then you have Hearthstone Firesides. And then on the other side of it, you've got the Headless Horseman.
That's true.
Interesting.
He is in that picture.
Nice eyes.
I cropped him out to focus on Nemsy, but he is in the picture.
Which means I'm going to be buying the virtual ticket on the off chance that it's the Headless Horseman.
Yeah, if anybody doesn't know, especially if you're in audio and you're not in video, Versika likes Halloween.
You couldn't tell from the big pumpkin on the wall behind him.
Yeah. The dark room and the pumpkin lights.
Not only that, but Legend of Sleepy Hollow is my favorite fictional work. And the Headless Horseman is my favorite. The Headless Horseman in Sleepy Hollow is my favorite literary character. And if my lights were on, I actually have 2 statues of the Headless Horseman actually in my office. So
Yes, I know, because I thought it was a guy on a horse trying to dunk a basketball.
So this is, in fact, I reactivate my WoW account every year during the Halloween event, even if I don't play any other time of the year, just to run the Swordsman Halloween special.
So here's one question: if this card's coming out, obviously it's going to be a promotional card, and all the promotional cards got put into the Hall of Fame. Does this mean this card will only be playable in Wild? And do you think this will increase, if it is, increase the amount of Wild play with people wanting to play with this new card?
I don't. I think it'll be standard play, and I think it'll rotate out with this year's sets. I would imagine going forward, this will be something to entice Hearthstone players to buy the virtual ticket.
Because they can play it in standard. And standard's kind of the thing.
And it's the only way to get it.
Yep. So Boyd in chat says he thinks it'll be a character from the animated short that they released not too long ago.
Could be.
It could absolutely be.
I'd love it if it's Lou. Oh, I love Lou.
So and if it is, that's fine. But I just it was an odd coincidence that the Horseman showed up there.
Now,
it has never been in any other promotional material for Hearthstone.
Outside of WoW, he has never been in any other promotional material except for Deathly Hallows, which he ended up being the boss in Deathly Hallows. So anytime he has been in a promotional material, he has appeared in that game shortly thereafter.
Okay. Now, I will tell you this, just for clarification. You can only get the golden version of this card by getting the virtual ticket. However, like in the past, ETC and I believe Gelblin also, you could craft a non-golden version of him so that you can still play with the card. Because I do know some people that crafted ETC, but they don't have the golden ETC. And you can't craft the golden ETC. So I would assume that you would still be able to craft him, or that would, if it is a standard card, it would be an unfair advantage for pro players because everybody has this card that may or may not be good in the meta. But if it is, the only way is virtual ticket. That kind of gives an advantage. It's like a pay to win in the pro scene, and I don't know if that's something they would want.
If it's like the other promotional cards, Gelbin and ETC, it will never see play.
I played a lot of ETC. Back when Mill Druid was a thing.
It was a thing. How often do you play it now?
Well, because it's Wild. I don't play Wild. But it would go into Mill Druid if I played Wild.
So,
all right. Next topic.
Yeah. So November is also going to be a big month for Twitch Prime. So if you are a Twitch Prime member in November, you will receive a golden pack with 5 golden cards.
Okay, now the original article, I think it was written by PC Gamer, said 6 golden cards.
Really? That'd be interesting.
And there has not been a clarification whether it's 6 or 5.
I'm assuming it's a standard
I assume it's 5. But the original publication did say 6.
Okay. We'll have to wait and see. But that comes out in November.
Yep.
And Zeroshio's boy Amnesiac was in the news again this week.
Oh.
You may have heard he accused Toast of stealing the Meatlock deck from Nostrum. Of course, if you watched Toast's stream, you would have noticed the name of that deck was, in fact, Nostrum, meaning he was giving
Nostrum the credit.
Yep. Amnesiac later apologized. I believe this was yesterday on his stream after Toast tweeted a pic of the deck that appeared with the label Nostrum.
It's like towards the end of his stream.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. As I told these guys pre-show, my favorite response to this entire situation was from Nostrum himself when he tweeted, "I should have known the Meatlock deck would cause some beef."
I love Nostrum even more now. Um, okay, I know I beat up on Amnesiac, and I understand people say, "Oh, he's a kid," cut him some slack. But you don't see other players of Amnesiac's age demographic making snap accusations and comments like this about other, their peers. So to me, it's disrespectful to somebody like this guy's Toast, who adds a lot to our community, to call him out like that instead of maybe sending him a message saying, "Hey, man, did you forget to mention Nostrum?" No, he just decided just to kind of air the dirty laundry, and he was wrong. I personally watched this guy's Toast stream, and I saw the deck name Nostrum. He wasn't playing it at the time. I wasn't watching that stream live, but even if he didn't say, "Hey, this was by a Nostrum," he named the deck Nostrum, so the credit is right there. And I understand he apologized, but get your facts straight. Obviously, he either didn't watch the stream live or he heard it from somebody else, and maybe check the VODs out before you go and start accusing people of things. Again, I do like when drama's into the pro scene because it draws attention, but at the same time, I just wish he would. I just wish he'd grow up. He's got great talent, and he could be great for the esport of Hearthstone, but he needs to grow up.
Well, I like Disguised Toast's response to the tweet.
Yep.
He just screenshotted the deck name and put it out and put little laugh out loud emoticons underneath.
He didn't just screenshot the deck name. He screenshotted a scene from his stream to show that it was while it was on the stream. So I think Disguised Toast handled it well.
Yeah. And
I just wish that Amnesiac would think a little more before he makes comments or tell somebody they can't wait to beat him in the Bahamas and then not qualify for the Bahamas.
Well, but to give Amnesiac credit as well, if we're going to beat up on him, we got to give him a little bit of credit here too. He could have just apologized in a tweet and let it go at that.
He could have.
He didn't. He owned it at the end of his stream.
He did own it.
In his own way, he owned it, and I think that sometimes you have to eat crow, and a lot of people don't want to do that. It's uncomfortable, and it's definitely uncomfortable, when you do it in front of the people that look up to you or admire your skill or ability or leadership or whatever position you're in. So the fact that he did it on his stream and not just in a tweet, I think says a lot about his character.
Yeah, and you know what?
Good choice of words.
I could be completely wrong. I could be completely off base and wrong, and he could be very calculated because we're talking about it. We're talking about Amnesiac. We're talking about him right now. So he may have done this. I'm not going to accuse him of doing it on purpose, but either way, we're talking about him, and it's publicity. And it's not even really bad publicity, but it's publicity. So he definitely does make us remember him, and that part of him I like. I just sometimes I think he just makes comments. Some people need to think before they tweet, and we have certain people that do it that are in control of our country and aren't reined in. So I guess a pro Hearthstone player can do it too. So.
All right. So this week's Tavern Brawl is the Spellbook Duel. Choose your spellbook carefully, champion. Pick 10 cards, and anytime you would draw a card, you instead discover a copy of a card from your deck. So it's a really interesting mechanic. It was a lot of fun to play.
I haven't played it yet.
Okay, so I played Mage, but I didn't play Secret Mage, which seems to be, or Quest Mage, which seems to be one of the popular archetypes in this, because you can only have 10 cards. Well, if you take the 10 cards centered right around Quest Mage, all of a sudden you can make it work really fast. I actually played more of a burn style mage, because one of the other decks that I've heard is really popular in this format is Gnome Feratu. Because when Gnome Feratu comes into play, she burns a card out of your deck. When that card's burned out of your deck, it no longer appears in the Discover mechanic. Gotcha. So one of the things you can do is just keep playing Gnome Feratus until you burn your opponent out of cards. Because there's only, the 10 cards in the deck, or 20, but whatever it is. But
doesn't really work.
Well, so here's the catch. Matt at Arms, one of our patrons, Matt at Arms, told us today that he had basically milled his opponent with Gnome Feratu down to 3 cards remaining in their deck, and then the client crashed. And he couldn't log back in afterwards. So don't know if it's a bug or what. He was eventually able to get back in 5 to 10 minutes later. But, so keep that in mind. Those are 2 of the real popular decks. Like I said, the deck I played was more of a burn deck. Going in, I knew Gnome Feratu was a thing. So I played Forgotten Torch, which kept putting Roaring Torches back in my deck. So that was fun. Versika, you had a chance to play it yet?
Yep.
What'd you do?
What crazy shaman deck did you make?
I didn't go shaman.
Whoa.
Rogue?
Actually, I went secret mage.
Ooh.
But I took a different approach. I put Galactic Crawlers, Hungry Crabs, and Secret Eaters in my mage.
Nice.
Wow. That's awesome.
So I also put Mirror Entities and Primordial Glyphs and Mediz Valets.
Did you name the deck I Hate You? I Hate You All?
I actually didn't. No. But I was just like, you know what? I was like, I'm going to take a page out of the University of Tennessee's playbook today and play Not to Lose.
There
you go.
That's what I did. I built a deck basically just not to lose. I needed my opponent to give me a win condition. So.
Okay.
Which, by the way, Secret Eater on a Christmas tree, a mage spells.
Oh,
pretty nice.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! I didn't even think about that. I have made my deck, but I haven't had a chance to play because I had a very rough day at work, and I had to assemble my new Maxnomic chair before the show. But I made a priest deck that runs 2 Radiant Elementals and Shadow Visions, and Mana Addict. So I can get a Mana Addict out, 2 Radiant Elementals, and do the endless Shadow Visions to build up the Mana Addict to kill my opponent. We'll see if that works.
Okay, awesome. All right, so that brings us to this week's deck, and it is since it is a Zeroshio deck, it is a Control Paladin deck that he stole from me. This deck has, and I will read the following deck list, and then I'll turn it over to Zeroshio to read. 2 Doomsayers, 2 Equalities, 1 Galactic Crawler, 2 Hydrologists, 2 Wild Pyromancers, 2 Outdoor Peacekeepers, 1 Gluttonous Ooze, 2 Stonehill Defenders, 1 Wicker Flame Burn Bristle, 2 Consecrations, 2 True Silver Champions, 1 Stampeding Kodo, 1 Skulking Geist, 2 Spike Ridge Steed. And then we get into the big run of legendaries here. Sunkeeper Tareem, the Curator, 2 Primordial Drakes, Ragnaros Lotlord, Tyrion Fordring, and Uther of the Ebon Blade. Go ahead, Amnesiac. Tell us about the deck.
What? Oh. It was Amex, actually, that ran this deck. The big thing in here that stands out to people is Uther. Why Uther? You're not running anything to try to pull off the combo. You're not running Beardo. You're not running anything to refresh your hero power at all. Well, the goal isn't to try to pull that combo off. Uther is just an amazing 20-point of health swing. So it's kind of put in place of the normal Forbidden Healing, where Forbidden Healing usually you would do on 9 or 10 mana to get that big chunk of healing, where with Uther you do it now to establish board control and also get that same amount of healing over time. Other than that, it's pretty much just a normal control paladin shell. Pretty much the way I've always ran it for a while now. One thing that I tech in and out is I will occasionally take out a Primordial Drake and put in Sergeant Sally, and I do that mainly for if I'm teching against aggro. In this case, this is my build that I use for THL as well as other Conquest tournaments, and you can tech in Sergeant Sally to kind of be an earlier Primordial Drake. Sergeant Sally with Sunkeeper Tareem is really good combo. Sergeant Sally with Spikered Steed is also another really good combo. And also comboing with Pyromancer. There's all kinds of different ways to have Sally get you a little bit more board control. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I have a decent win rate with it.
Cool. Well, I love this top deck. Quickly becoming Paladin control is one of my favorite archetypes in the game. So I'm really looking forward to checking this out. Rasika, anything you want to add before we move on?
No, I have all the cards in this deck except for Sunkeeper Tareem. Never pulled him, and I don't play enough Paladin to craft him. So I tried, after Zerotio sent the deck list, to find a replacement for Sunkeeper, and I honestly couldn't. So if you want to make this deck work, Sunkeeper Tareem is one of the primary cards. You could trade out the Curator. You can trade out Tyrion. You can trade out Ragnaros, and you'll lose a little bit, but the deck still functions. You take out Sunkeeper Tareem, and a lot of things just don't happen.
That's not entirely true. You kind of have to build it up to RNG a little bit. If you don't have Sunkeeper Tareem, you can probably put in a good tech card. Skulking Geist wouldn't be bad, same mana slot. But then when you do use your Stonehill Defenders, you are going to prioritize Sunkeeper Tareem over any other choice. Fortunately, because Paladin is favored in Discovered, the class cards are favored in Discovered, you will have a higher chance of getting Sunkeeper Tareem. And a lot of games, I get a second Sunkeeper Tareem out of my Stonehill Defenders anyways.
I wonder if that chance goes up when you own the card, because I've not actually pulled a Sunkeeper Tareem from a Stonehill Defender, and I've played 6 games with this today.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that they have clarified, Team 5 has clarified that class cards are favored, but they haven't said anything about whether you own the card or not.
Yeah, because I got both Wicker Flame and Tyrion.
Because I have discovered cards that I don't own before.
Right, and I had. My collection is big enough that I can't really tell.
Yeah.
If this has happened, so Sunkeeper Tareem is one of the few class cards that I don't own. So, for me, I'm not sure if it's favoring the others, because so far, like I said, I've played. I want to say I played 6 games. It's either 5 or 6 games, and out of those games, Wicker Flame and Tyrion, and it's just odd that that chance is pretty high out of the three class taunt minions to only pull 2 of the 3 out of 6 chances.
Yeah, again, you take a risk of not ever getting it if you don't put it in your deck, but there is a chance that you would get it. I would, though, if you are interested in playing Paladin regularly, he is kind of on the top list of crafting. Of course, Tyrion being ahead of that. I would say he's the second best Paladin legendary to craft.
And he's going to be here all year next year.
Yes.
So.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, I am super excited to get to check out this deck because, like I said, it's right up my alley, in my wheelhouse. I love this archetype. So let's last minute thoughts on anything we talked about today or anything you want to mention. Frasika, we'll start with you.
Summer Championship is this weekend. I think it's going to be a great championship to watch. I'm really excited about it. And if you get a chance to tune in, I don't think you're going to be disappointed.
Okay. All right. Zeroshio?
I don't hate Amnesiac, okay? I think he's a great player. I don't necessarily think he's as good as he thinks he is, but I think he has a potential being one of the best players in America. And he already is one of the best, but qualifying for world championships is important, and I think he can do it next year. He just needs to mature and take it down a notch and focus on his gameplay, and I think he'll be just fine.
All right. And remember, if you're looking for a fireside gathering to get Nemsy Necrofizzle, the Warlock Hero, make sure you look for those that have the tavern sign beside them, and go out, have some fun, meet some new friends, and play some Hearthstone.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so if you're joining us on Twitch or YouTube, please stay tuned for the live play portion of our show. If you are listening via the audio podcast, we'd like to thank you for joining us. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at HeroPower_cast, and you can find all of our past episodes on YouTube at youtube.com/ECMMOgamers or on our website at HeroPowerHS.com. If you enjoy the show and you'd like to support and improve it, you can do that by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/HeroPower. And we'll see you all again next week.
And don't forget to use your hero power.
Alrighty, gentlemen. Well, let's I'm hopefully getting a pack out of this, so let's check out this deck.
No. No pressure.
No pressure, but I have watch and learn, so I need to learn how to play this deck.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. I am finding an opponent. Let's see what I find. I want a gum chewer.
Matt at Arms says, totally pressure.
Yeah, totally pressure. I don't need to win him nothing. StarCraft Pro. Almost got a StarCraft Pro.
Oh.
So close.
All right, let's see. So we were facing a mage.
Mm-hmm. We do have the capability of outpacing their burn.
Okay. Opening
you're
hand
not
of Consecration, Pyromancer, and Equality.
Yeah, I think we're going to pitch all this because I don't expect to see a big burst of minions to come out the gate. I'm considering holding the Consecration just for the early little bit of threat we might see. What do you guys think?
I think you're probably good to pitch it all.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I like the idea of pitching it all.
Wouldn't mind seeing a Hydrologist. Galaka Crawler's not bad on two. The Doomsayer will be helpful if it is Secret Priest. Or Secret Mage.
Yeah.
I was going to say Secret Priest. That sounds amazing.
That
Right?
does sound amazing. We're going to pass our first turn because we're Paladin.
See? Even they
think this is amazing.
Oh, and it's Quest.
This is a bad matchup.
It's Quest Mage.
This is... I think we just Galaka.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. 2 mana, 2/3.
Yep. I think we just need to get something on the board for them to use burn on.
Matt at Arms in chat says if it's Quest Mage, you're screwed.
Yes. It is a tough matchup.
He
because
also
we're going way
says,
too long.
he also says, secret priest. Oh God, please no.
I think that would be great.
Well, I like seeing a burn right there. This Uther's not terrible. Go
Dude,
face,
Make
just
it
dude up.
Make it dude. Make it dude. Yeah.
I'm just trying to think if there's any reason to have the Aldor for anything. I'm trying to figure out what we're going to be able to do. Because we're not going to see a lot of minions on the board on his side.
No.
Tyrion's not terrible.
I think we just keep applying pressure.
I agree.
True Silverface?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we just got to rush him.
Yeah,
right.
I think so too. And
this isn't an aggro deck, but we got the tools.
Sometimes you have to play it like one. I was going to say, what about a Tempo Aldor targeting the dude?
Well, if they don't have it, it's enemy minion, so
okay.
It doesn't matter. And we can Aldor now. It's really...
Yeah.
The Doomsayers are kind of moot until we know they're setting up for combo.
Right.
I think we Aldor, dude.
I agree.
We just go face.
Or you can do outdoor and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess positioning for Meteor, you're right. I probably should have done it. Just face?
Yeah.
Weapon 2?
Yeah.
Because he's going to use that novice to run into our minions.
Yeah. Survey says novice and fire blast into the Galaka.
If we have a turn where we're not going to do anything, we might Doomsayer just to stall, to set up for something the next turn like Tyrion. There's merit to that. To keep him from putting anything on the board. Blizzard, yeah, he's going to Blizzard. But he's only one card into his quest.
That's correct. Oh. What do you think?
See, I say we Doomsayer here.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I say we Doomsayer setting up for the Curator.
Yep.
And dude, just because don't forget to use your hero power.
Yep.
See, he might have spell generating minions now he may consider not putting out, like Babbling Book, the new one that's the 2/6 that gives you the mirror image. I guess he just doesn't care. Oh, he puts himself at 10 cards. Gonna have to cast something.
A secret.
Uh-oh.
So do we Doomsayer to test for Mirror Entity?
I would outdoor Peacekeeper to test for Mirror Entity and then put down Burn Bristle afterwards if it's not. But that's me.
That's fair. That allows us to get tempo on the board. If we test with Doomsayer, we can't put anything after it.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't hate it.
Okay.
So it's probably Counterspell. So we'll Burn Bristle. Make him have some way to deal with the board, which he probably has a Frost Nova. He's going to need to use cheap spells so he can get more than one out, so he can limit his hand size, because he does not want to risk burning the quest, which can happen if he's not careful.
I've seen him burn Antonidas before, too.
I mean, we are ranked 5, so it's likely they're probably not gonna burn. Still at 10 cards. Hopefully you got something like that, the 8 mana, get all your secrets that he can't cast. I hate getting that card. He's trying to figure out how to empty his hand.
No whammies. No whammies.
Still puts him really hefty on hand size. So if we Primordial Drake here, we know that Secret's not going to punish us, and we just clear the board.
Right. Why not Tyrion instead?
Yeah.
We
Force
could
him to
Tyrion.
get rid of it and give you a weapon that puts him within lethal in 3 turns.
We could Tyrion on the far left. Play around Meteor a little bit, which I don't think this build runs Meteor. That way, if he does not have a polymorph, we'll generate a weapon, which you'll have to worry about freezing our face and the board at the same time. So I like that a lot. He's going to pop it, which means he's not going to polymorph it. Frost Nova or Blizzard?
Now
Or use 2
Meteor.
Blizzard.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we have the weapon to go to face.
What do you think about Stonehill Defender?
I worry about. I'm cool with Stonehill, but if we're going to Spike Ridge it, I'm worried about Spellbender.
I'm not saying Spike Ridge it. I'm
No,
just saying
just
Stonehill
play
and see
Stone
what we
Okay.
get.
and see what we
Let's
get.
start. That sounds good. Tyrion,
Tyrion.
all day, every day.
Yep.
Go face
And
and dude up.
Dude up and go face. So it's not
I
Ice
went
Barrier.
face first to see if it was Ice Barrier. If it was Ice Barrier, I would have thrown down the Spike Ridge so fast. Now, if I thought it was just Counterspell, I wouldn't worry about it. But Spellbender would be really rough on us.
Yeah.
So he didn't pull a secret, so it means he has them all in his hand. Did he pull a secret on the first one?
I think so.
Not the second. Okay.
Which means if he's running 2 ice blocks, then that's an ice block in play and an ice block in his hand. Nope, there's the other secret. So one of those is ice block.
Yes.
What do you think about the Gluttonous Ooze into Curator?
I think Stonehill into one of the Arcanologists, dude into the other one, Primordial Drake, and dude, and hit face for 5 to test for barrier.
Okay.
Well, let's hit face first.
Yeah.
Because it might be mirror entity.
It might be mirror.
And we won't be able to. Okay, good. That's barrier. That was the second one.
That's
so we know the other one.
Played.
Yeah.
Or we could Tyrion.
Yeah.
We could
actually.
Tyrion. We might override a weapon that's, but the Primordial Drake clears the board.
Yeah,
That's true.
but Tyrion applies pressure and puts him on a clock.
Okay, so just face and then Tyrion.
Face and Tyrion.
Okay. Tyrion on the right.
Yep.
And dude.
Yep.
And dude.
He's applied no damage to face yet. Is still only 2 of 6 on his quest. I think he has the full combo in his hand, but he's not generated enough. See, Simulacrum means he does have an apprentice. That's why he got rid of the novice engineers and the archaeologists, so he wouldn't copy them. So we can pop block. We need to go 5, 6, 9. So go to face with Tyrion first.
To bring him
Right.
down to 5.
We can actually pop him at 2 if we use Tareem to or use Tareem now.
You're gonna Tareem and then Doomsayer?
We could do that because we could set up lethal with Uther.
Yeah.
So Tareem, take him to 2. Maybe. I didn't think about mirror entity for the. It's not. and then go face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pop the
Pop
block.
the block.
Doomsayer on the left.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we'll just dude. We'll do the dude. This is a tough match, but I think we're doing it pretty well. I think he's been really unlucky. With Quest Mage, you want to get your combo pretty quick, but you don't want it to flood your hand up. That makes it cumbersome to try to pull it off. He did not pop Tyrion.
Oh, here we go.
He can't yet, though. I think he's bluffing. If he has a secret in his hand, if he has an ice block in his hand, it's from the deck, so it doesn't help with the quest. Ooh. Five. Oh man, he's gonna pull it off.
Yep.
Time's running out on him though. Guys, that is 6. Surprised he did the Tyrion. He better hurry. I don't think he got it.
He did.
He did.
But I don't think he. Oh, dang it.
All he has to do is cast the card. If it runs out of time, it automatically starts his next turn.
Oh, yeah. 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 We get really close, though. Really close. Yeah, Dirty Rat would. If I was in a scenario where I expected to see a lot of Quest Mage, Dirty Rat is a good tech to put in here. Yep. I do have Dirty Rat tech into my priest deck for that reason. Phew. That's a tough matchup.
Yep.
No pack for Avantis. Not yet. All right. Let's give Ganji a little time to clear out. I don't want to queue against him again. I have had some quest mates get annoyed that you don't concede and they just sit there and emote you until you concede. Just don't do it. You don't want to pull off the combo. Why are you playing the deck? Let you have that. Yeah, Light Lord is in this deck. It is a greedy deck. It's also designed to beat other control decks, minus, of course, I don't know if I'd call Quest Mage a control deck necessarily.
All right, so we've got Doomsayer, Pyromancer, and Stonehill Defender.
Pyromancer is better value in the late game, but Doomsayer and Stonehill's decent early. I'm okay with keeping both of those.
Yep.
I mean, just a turn 2 Doomsayer, can really wreck Morning Pants' day. Morning Pants. The name game.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So this may not exactly be aggro.
Oh. Token.
There's kind of this hybrid aggro Jade style going out right now. I think Doomsayer right here is really strong.
I agree.
It puts him on having exactly Wrath.
Yeah.
Which this deck may not run a Wrath, but
I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
If it's straight aggro, Wrath's been getting cut. For things like Spellbreaker.
Man at Arms says this feels like Pilfered Power aggro.
It could be the Pilfered Power aggro deck, which...
Oh, he's going face.
Yep, he doesn't have it. So we tossed on a Stonehill Defender here.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Hydrologist may be a decent pick. Oh, yes, Consecrate. Living Mana is so good to Consecrate. So I like Tareem here, but he can make it hard to play Tareem.
So what about Ancient of Blossoms?
That's what I was just thinking.
Ancient of Blossoms basically gives us a Tareem with one extra body without the drawback of making his minions bigger.
Yeah, Mad at Arms also likes, in chat says he also likes Blossoms here.
I like Blossoms here too. I just wanted to make sure to give the argument. A lot of people think you have to pick Tareem in those cases, but if you're against aggro, they will likely not put you in a position that's good to play it.
What do you think about the True Silver here?
True Silver allows us to hit it now and then most likely kill it next turn. Because he's not going to be able to living mana next turn because he already used the coin. I like the True Silver and hit it here, but I won't hit it with the Stonehill.
Right. True Silver and hit it, and then whatever he lays next turn, you can just use the True Silver in conjunction with Consecration to clear the board.
I'm not sure if it really depends what he puts down next turn. If I would use the Consecration, I really like the idea of saving Consecration for. He went over. That's an odd choice. He decided for the card draw instead of building up the Crypt Lord.
Consecration clears the board.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does, but then we're wide open for living mana next turn.
True.
I like Aldor on the 3/7. And go ahead and use our face to clear the 1/2.
Okay.
You like that? And we'll do it up.
You're the driver, sir.
The main reason I didn't just soften up the 1/7 specifically is I don't want something like Market Lotus or Power of the Wild to get more value.
Power of the Wild?
Power of the Wild.
Pilfered Power.
Pilfered Power. Didn't really get a lot of power pilfered there.
Oh, but there's the equality.
Now there we go.
So
we can Spike Ridge the Aldor and clear the 1/7.
I like that.
He really has to get a living mana turn. And now, even if he buffs up his living mana, we have the equality.
Mm-hmm.
Market his shards. That's pretty much all.
There's the living mana.
We don't even. Kind of awkward trade.
Oh.
We don't even have to equality.
No.
No, you can just consecrate.
Yeah.
Consecrate and ooze.
Yeah, I think we ooze. The 3/3 body will really help us, especially if he has something like Flappy Bird.
Yeah.
Do you even really need to clear that there? Was there an argument to go to face?
With us having equality, I don't know.
I mean,
the buff mechanics is really what I'm worried about.
If he living manas again, we've still got, the Drake.
Primordial Drake.
Yeah. Here comes another board flood. Wow. Now, if he has a buff, this is the turn he's going to use it. There we go. And to be honest, we don't have to clear this. We probably will clear at least one of them, but we can just rag and start going face.
Yeah.
Is there an argument for Blossoms and Dude here?
I mean, we could Blossoms, dude, and clear one of the minions with the ooze, and then go face with the Stegonon.
Right.
I mean, I like it.
Just show him that we've got more taunt that he's going to have to get through, and he's probably not going to be able to and concede.
Yeah, this may push a concede. Bitter Tide's obviously a big threat. It's probably the card he's been holding from the beginning. Oh, another Pilfered Power. I liked Pilfered Power when it first came out, but maybe there's better ways to use it. Murky Lotus, he's pretty much done.
Yeah. So now I think you just clear and drop Lot Lord.
I mean, we can run the ooze and a dude into that 2/6 taunt, throw down Primordial Drake, and we'll have 2 big taunted minions.
Yeah, that works too.
Thoughts for Seeker?
That clears our board anyway. What's different than just running everything in?
It leaves the 3/8 Blossom up.
As a 3/6.
Yeah, it'd leave it up as a 3/6.
It'd still be a 3/6 if you run it in.
No, we're not talking about running it in. We're talking about running in the ooze and the dude, and then dropping the.
Yeah, I see where you're going.
Is the Primordial Drake still turns it into a 3/6?
Yeah,
so either way,
we keep the Primordial Drake in case of another living mana.
Okay, so just drop that rag.
Curator maybe.
We could Curator and dude. I mean, we could have Hydrologist, but we have to wait for animations. Yeah, Morning Pants is not in a good spot, but he's a trooper.
Red Rover, Red Rover.
Now do we rag?
Now we drop rag.
Okay.
Rag now? Hydrologist.
Rag now? Rag now? Hydrologist. Redemption?
Eye for an eye.
Eye for an eye?
Yeah.
Just because.
Lived. Insect. He is determined. Savage Roar.
There you go. I like this guy. He doesn't concede.
There you go. he he toughed it out. With that ring 5 swag. Oh, somebody got a pack. All right, going into game 3.
1-1.
Yep.
Going to game 3.
All right.
I'm not as familiar with that Pilfered Power Druid list.
I've played against it a few times, and I've seen the list. I like Pilfered Power as a card. I just don't. I think there's better ways to use it than an aggro list.
All right, so we got a Warlock this time. We got Drake, Steed, and Defender.
So we're thinking Demon Zoo here, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so throw back
the Defender,
Drake, and the Steed, and keep the Defender.
I think so.
We can get decent value out of the Defender. Yeah, I think they're using Pilfered Power instead of basically having it act as a an old innervate. Pass, of course. I think that's what the Pilfered Power is there for, to get you 2+ mana early. But honestly, I don't know. They're just trying to make aggro druid work.
Oh, Quest Warlock. I like this guy.
Quest Demon, and you know what? We've got the perfect hand for it. Meaning the perfect hand for him to get it off.
Dude.
So, you have to. He's just going to Mortal Coil it, but might as well get it out of the way.
Man at Arms says, what is even happening?
This is probably Kibler's list. Kibler's been playing this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And he's making the quest work. Oh no, no. Okay.
Is this almost worth an equality?
Yeah.
That's what I was
Well,
just
if he
thinking.
treacheries this next turn,
I mean,
it'll also deny him a lot of card draw. I think we
Yeah.
have to equality here.
I think we have to.
I think it doesn't look like the right play, but I think it is the right play. So he only gets one discarded card, and it's Clutch Mother.
Of course.
But at least he only got one discard instead of 6.
Yeah.
Dang.
So now he has a 2-mana 4/4. This is going to be tough. We might have to put some crazy pressure to face.
We don't have crazy pressure to face. I think this is true silver and just take our 2 or 4. Take our 4.
Yeah, because we're at full health. Have you seen that Blackguard combo where you get to true silver and then you equality and then Blackguard, and then every time you go to attack, he does 2 points of healing. It just clears the board. You never attack with your weapon. It's pretty deep. It's pretty deep.
So
Okay.
Stonehill first, right?
Stonehill first. Yeah, that was my question. Is sequencing. Firm Street. I think that's really our only choice. It fills in our curve okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Osric's out. There's no synergies. Hired gun. I think it dies too easy.
Well, I was thinking hired gun in with Spike Ridge Steed on.
Be a 6/9.
On 9. Okay, but that's not terrible. Would we rather Uther on 9? I guess it's an option.
You could Uther and use Grom Street later to protect your horseman.
So Grime Street?
Grom Street.
Okay. And then do we a hydrologist or dude?
Hydrologist.
Snap pick. Repentance?
Yes.
I like Repentance against Warlock because he's probably going to cheat out minions.
Yikes.
So we can clear that without too much trouble.
We can, and probably should. The question is, how do we want to do it?
Would we rather Spike Ridge? I mean, it's wasted damage, but it develops a board that's a little stickier.
I like that. I like that, Spike Ridge.
Spike Ridge and then clear it with both?
Yeah.
Okay. I just like the stickiness of the minion. We're going to have a 2/6 to follow.
I wouldn't like it as much if we didn't have Uther and the other True Silver in our hand.
Exactly. There's Soulfire, which is what I was worried about.
Oh!
Discarded Blood Reaver. So that's good.
That was brutal. I liked it.
So True Silver double pump. Then Dude and Repentance.
Yes.
Dude. Repentance. And then I'm going to say oops. To make him think that it's Kodo and he can just clear my Silverhand Recruit. Mind games.
Surely he's not that dumb.
You never know. Yeah. I actually, card choices. I do have Wicker Flame in here, but I don't have Corpse Takers.
Oh!
Oops.
He is one discard away from getting that quest off, though.
That's true. That is definitely true. So do we just Grime Street and go for, because we want to go face this turn because we're gonna Uther next turn, right?
I think we Grom Street. No, we keep that in hand. I think we Aldor, run the Spike Ridge in, dude, go face with True Silver, and set up for Uther next turn.
Okay.
He's only got 2 cards in hand.
Yep.
So
Outdoor he only needs to discard 1.
Right. And the Outdoor does us no good against what comes out of the portal. So
that's true. I mean, they're 3/2s. They could trade into our 2/2s if we make it a 1/2, but that's just once.
Right.
I mean, our Primordial Drake's clear the imps every turn.
Right.
So that gives us a couple turns.
There we go.
There's the quest. He can't do it this turn, though. But he gets the 3/3. So if we Uther this turn, we can clear that. Ooh. Does that change anything?
I don't think so.
So we Uther hit the
Actually,
3.
What if it does change something? What about if we lay the Grom Street down in between the Spike Ridge and the Aldor, and then lay the Doomsayer on the other side of the Silverhand Recruit and take out the... No, we still can't take out the Fellhound.
No, but everything should die next turn.
So what about this? What about if we Equality first and then lay Grom Street?
But then we won't Doomsayer.
We won't Doomsayer, but we still clear the board.
Next turn
and we have board presence, and then next turn Doomsayer.
So
Primordial
Equality
Doomsayer.
first?
Yeah.
Then Grime Street?
Yep.
And then
run in. Yep.
Okay. Cool with that. I'm cool with that. He has the quest and then 2 cards.
Yep.
All doesn't do much. So, Uther face sets up for lethal.
I like that.
Uther face. They'll have to have a taunt. Should do it for us. I don't know. I don't think he's used both of his taunts as Lucari's. So he doesn't have those taunts. And he doesn't have any other taunts in the deck. And his Bloodreaver Gul'dan got discarded.
Concede.
Tap. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
2 and 1.
So this is good against. I mean, we beat an aggro deck and we beat a slower kind of deck. I don't call it control-y. We lost to, Quest Mage, but everything seems to be losing to Quest Mage nowadays.
Yep. All right. So, any last thoughts about this deck for Sika?
Oh, I like it. I like that we won without really Sunkeepering either turn. So it gives me hope that I might still be able to play it, figuring something else out. I like it. I really wish we'd gotten a chance to win with the Horseman. If you haven't gotten a chance to do that in any capacity yet, it's fun. I would recommend doing it.
Well, it's fun, but it's lackluster because I think the animation could have been so much better. Basically, all four of the horsemen throw a snowball at the opponent's face and you win. That's what it looked like to me. They just all throw a snowball simultaneously and explode.
Spoilers,
I don't know what's in those snowballs.
Spoilers.
That deck doesn't normally do the combo, the end game with that part of the decay package. If you want something like that, you would want to play more of a combo centric with Auction Master Beardo. It's very inconsistent. This deck is more consistent in winning the games, but it doesn't have the flair. I have won one time with getting all 4 out, and I think my opponent just didn't know that it was going to happen because they didn't even try to clear them.
Gotcha. All right, guys. Well, I believe that's going to do it for us this week.
One quick shout out.
Okay.
Wild.bet in chat says very honorable, and I'm assuming he's referring to the seppuku by our opponent.
Yes. Yeah. So if you have any questions or comments about the show or the deck we played tonight, please email us at heropowerpodcast@gmail.com. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button below on YouTube, and or give us a follow on Twitch to be alerted when we go live. For more details on our Discord, our patron-only Discord, you can find those over at patreon.com/heropower. Until next week, good gaming.
Bye, guys. It's a double-handed wave.